when MOFCOM announced that all public venues in China will be closed. No exhibition is allowed to take place. No larger gatherings are allowed. That was really, I must say, a shock, not only to me, for all of us. And we knew that something really big has happened. If there is no face-to-face location like our venue, then it means zero business. And so it's the case for SNIEC, but for all our industry worldwide, there are no shows, no public venues are opened. That means zero business, still a lot of high cost, because we have a big team, we have a big venue, we need to maintain our facilities, we have to repair our steel structures. A lot of work has to be done, a lot of costs are happening. So that happened from, I think it was January 25 until last week. And that was the beginning. Now let's come to the end of the so-called bad news. The good news then was on May 9, I remember, that State Council, so Beijing, the central government, announced that as of now, our industry is allowed again to hold exhibitions. And that is that was a great relief that the news comes out. We talk about people. We need exhibitors, we need visitors, we need organizers, we need attendees, we need walk-ins, pass-buyers. So a lot of people who are coming to Disney or to SNIEC, one thing they all need, and that's safety. And that's at the moment what I just mentioned. The good news happened, but that's done. Now we have to work out procedures, protocols, safety structures. How do we test people? We have to test the temperature, we have to record, you have to write down your telephone number, your contact number, and so on. And that's easier said than done, because if you do it for 100 people, okay, you can manage. In my business, in SNIEC, we talk about 100,000 people, or sometimes 200,000 people. My team, together with the Shanghai municipal government, with the police, with the health bureau, with the fire bureau, with the organizer, with the customers, with the exhibitors, we have huge meetings where we discuss how such procedures can look like. How do we manage so many people to come in or to the exhibition? I believe over time there may be new ideas how to better control people to come to a public venue. So there are already technologies for larger equipment, infrared, where for 1 minute you can also manage 200 to 300 people to walk through, and every person is basically scanned by that system. And if that person has 38 point something, then it is possible to isolate that person and bring it to a separate area as per the procedure. So I cannot exactly tell you how it will look like in 6 months. I have a rough idea, but we all know in our industry that we have to learn from what's happening in the next 1 to 3 months. And then one big advantage of SNIEC, and also I must say for myself in China for 30 years, and I was here when SARS already happened here in 2002, flexibility. You have to be always very flexible in adapting to the new situation. June 25 to 27, the Semicon will be the first show after the virus in SNIEC with 60,000 square meters, so 6 halls booked as originally planned, so they did not change their layout. And then as of July, as we go forward, we will have more or less our regular calendar. And I'm even foreseeing that even the October holidays, which the Gold Week, which is usually more or less empty in SNIEC, or in the whole exhibition in China, I predict that October we will have a full venue. I even think that Christmas time, which is usually empty here, and January, we will have showtime. In our industry, we talk about B2B, so business to business, but the world changed quite a lot from business to business into B2C, so business to consumers. So what we're seeing in the last 5 years is kind of a shift from B2B to C. So we also have consumer-related events, shows, expos, like the Huawei conference, for example, was here 2 years ago with all the telecommunication industry. That time we designed our venue to be the first in the world to be set up on 5G, which covers the whole venue of 300,000 square meters. And we have 130 shows every year, which most of them are the global leading exhibitions or Weltleitmessen in mostly all kind of industries. Well, I would say even before the virus, already we had that trend or that efforts from certain show organizers to do something on e-commerce, online or virtual shows. So that's 3 areas, I would say, in a relatively unclear industry. For me, as a concrete and brick owner, I cannot ignore it, and it's there, but it plays a very small role. I know from some of our top customers that in terms of revenue, that income from this part is between 1% to 3%. It's relatively low. So what I think will happen, definitely because of the virus, for the nearest future, maybe 1-2 years, more shows will try to combine virtual, digital, e-commerce elements in their shows. But in the end, face-to-face, it's a human desire, it's a natural thing. This will continue 100%. But we as SNIEC, we already thinking about these online virtual digital show, that we think, for example, it's just an idea right now, that if we have less shows or less density of people, we may consider to have 1 fixed hall or maybe 2 halls from our 20 halls, which we will allocate for digital business. So for example, if you are a car producer and you want to show your new cars to the market, usually you go to an exhibition with lots of people. Now, if you know you're not allowed to invite 200,000 people, but you want to reach these people, you may decide to, for example, come to SNIEC, prepare the exhibition halls nicely with a nice environment, maybe with a racing track or maybe with a background track, I don't know, and put your products, in this case cars, in that nicely designed location. And then with cameras, with digital technologies, bring these products in such a nice environment to your online potential customers. And then the customers can have a look, zooming 3D, whatever is possible, and then decide to buy or get more information. So that's something we just started to discuss in SNIEC, if that's what the customer wants. The near future, 5 years, 10 years, I do not see a massive impact because of digital revolution. But again, test me in 2 years and I hope I was wrong and we made a lot of money with digital, but I don't see it now. SNIEC, as we call ourselves today, is actually a new brand name in the exhibition industry. We changed our name from Shanghai New International Expo Center 5-6 years ago into SNIEC because we thought we need a brand name for our venue. The world industry in the exhibition, in the show business, really adapted this name. So people now today talk about SNIEC. So for us, it's a big success that the people know that name and they understand what SNIEC means. SNIEC stands definitely for quality. We are proud to say that already for at least 2 or 3 years, we are the worldwide #1. That means the most busy exhibition venue in the world. That means most of the international shows, in German we say Weltleitmesse, so global leading expos, but also conferences are meanwhile happening here in SNIEC in our venue.